Morning, and welcome to the Spiritualist Desert Church Sunday service. If you're joining us via Zoom, please be aware that we are recording this service for our YouTube channel, and your microphones will remain muted throughout the service. If you're viewing us on YouTube and would like a Zoom invitation to join us for future services, please send us an email request. Thank you all for joining us today. We want to welcome everyone here physically on Zoom, later on YouTube, and all of us and all of those who have joined us from the spirit world. My name is Elka Cody, and I will be your chairperson today. Joining us this morning will be the Reverend Paula Molino, who will be delivering our sermon and spirit greetings. Louise Barktel will be leading us in a healing meditation and give its spirit greetings. And our Zoom moderator this morning is Lynn Collier. Please take a moment to center yourselves and join in prayer as we open our service with an invocation. Infinite intelligence, we give thanks for this day and this time as we come together in your presence. We ask that your spirit permeate our souls with love, peace, and joy. As we gather with like-minded people, help us open our hearts to the love of all others, to their goodness, and to their grace. As we commence our service today, we ask for a blessing for our speaker, so her words may be inspired and guided by you, for our message bearers as they bridge the world of spirit to this earthly plane, and for all of us here, so that our hearts and minds can be awakened to the deeper understanding of your truth. Amen. Spiritualist Desert Church is a chartered member of the National Spiritualist Association of Churches, headquartered in Lilydale, New York. The NSAC Spiritualist Manual provides us with the definitions of our religion. I'd like to share these definitions of spiritualism and of being a spiritualist with you now. Spiritualism is a science, philosophy, and religion of continuous life based upon the demonstrated fact of communication by means of mediumship with those who live in the spirit world. Spiritualism is a science because it investigates, analyzes, and classifies facts and manifestations demonstrated from the spirit side of life. Spiritualism is a philosophy because it studies the laws of nature, both on the seen and unseen sides of life, and bases its conclusions upon the present observed facts. It accepts statements of observed facts from past ages and conclusions drawn therefrom when sustained by reason and by results of observed facts from the present day. Spiritualism is a religion because it strives to understand and to comply with the physical, mental, and spiritual laws of nature, which are the laws of God. A spiritualist is one who believes, as a basis of her religion or his religion, in the communication between this and the spirit world by means of mediumship, and who endeavors to mold his or her character and conduct in accordance with the highest teaching derived from such communication. As spiritualists, we have no dogmas or creeds, but we do have 9 principles that we strive to live by. Please join me now in declaring these principles. We believe in infinite intelligence. We believe that the phenomena of nature, both physical and spiritual, are expressions of infinite intelligence. We affirm that a correct understanding of such expressions and living in accordance therewith constitute true religion. We affirm that the existence and personal identity of the individual continue after the change called death. We affirm that the communication with the so-called dead is a fact, scientifically proven by the phenomena of spiritualism. We believe that the highest morality is contained in the golden rule: do unto others as you would have them do unto you. We affirm the moral responsibility of individuals and that we make our own happiness or unhappiness as we obey or disobey nature's physical and spiritual laws. We affirm that the doorway to reformation is never closed against any soul, here or hereafter. We affirm that the precepts of prophecy and healing are divine attributes proven through mediumship. And now it is my great pleasure to introduce the Reverend Paula Molino, who will be giving our service this morning. She is an ordained minister through the NSAC and has been a long-time member of the Spiritualist Desert Church here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Please join me in welcoming the Reverend Paula Molino.
Thank you, Elka. And thank you for that. She's been a long time member. Makes me feel really good about myself. Appreciate that. You did a beautiful job. Thank you so much. The energy that you set with sharing is just phenomenal. And I thank you so much for that. And I want to thank everybody here that's in the physical, everyone that's going to watch on YouTube, and of course, everyone that's here in spirit. And I don't know if you all can feel it, but excuse me, Spirit is here and doing phenomenally today. They're firing on all cylinders. So let's see what we've got. A few weeks ago, I actually listened to, I was at a work conference online, and the person was speaking about victims from Katrina. Katrina, if I'm not mistaken, happened in 2005, right? Somewhere along those lines. And it was in New Orleans. After the flood, or during the flood, there were many groups that were not saved, that waited days and days for people to come and help them. There was many things going on with the media, and the media had a big spin on what they were doing. And it made me just start thinking. The story itself was about an African-American family that basically were on their roof of their home for days. And they actually had a TV for a little while, listening to the news and a radio and listening to all the things that were happening. And they were just basically forgotten about. After that, developers came into their area and built brand new homes and such, but they had lived in that area, their families had lived in that area for hundreds of years. They were from that area, their heritage is in that area, and these people came in and built these developments that now these people couldn't afford. So even after Katrina, they were displaced from their land, pushed from their land, and then developers came in and they couldn't afford that land anymore, and they had to find new places to live. Just hearing that was shocking to me, and I'm a historian. I mean, I know these things are happening, but that made me feel horrific for these people. But it made me think of two things. One, how are we, or have we ever felt marginalized? Have we ever felt displaced? And what is making us feel that way? And two, with the spin that the media put on this story, what spin are we putting on our own story? How are we portraying ourselves to others? And how are we portraying ourselves to ourselves? Are we being truthful to ourselves? Are we being our authentic self? Or are we not doing that? And what is the issue with not doing that? Where does a problem come in? So I was first the displacement part and being marginalized. I'm going to go out on a limb here and think and say that every single one of us here and everyone that's going to listen to this at some point has felt marginalized, has felt as if they're not being recognized or being ignored, whether it's because of gender, your weight, your age, the color of your skin, your sexual orientation, any of these things, and other things as well. At some point, somebody ignored who you were or made you feel smaller than you are. Some people feel judged on a regular basis. Where does that come from? There's especially people, the millennials of this age, and people younger than that. I think it's called Gen Z. Showing my age here, but they often are like, don't judge me. As a teacher, I'm like, that's my entire job. You turn something in, it's my job to grade it. Like, I have to judge you. But in reality, people get this giant fear of being judged. And, oh, I can't do that. Don't judge me. Or, oh, I'm going to go do this thing over here privately because I don't want to be judged. That fear of judgment, well, let's even just talk about those words. Fear, judgment, those are all very low vibration words. And we don't want to live in a low vibration. We want to rise above those. We want to learn and grow and live in a higher vibration. So when somebody makes you feel bad about you and your choices or what's going on, how is it possible for another human being to make you feel bad about yourself? Are those not really things that we kind of feel bad about? Things that we are insecure about? So what we need to do when that happens is truly look at that thing. We should really be analyzing those items that come up and ask, is that something I really need to be embarrassed by? Is that something that serves me and I love? If it serves me and I love it, why am I embarrassed by it? Why is that a thing? That leads me to talking about spiritualism. How many of us are uber proud of our spiritualist faith and we share that with others? Or do you keep that information to yourself? Do you talk about what brings you so much joy in spiritualism and how amazing it is? Or do you not? I know for a long time, I wouldn't tell anybody I was a medium. I don't share that info. I don't put it out there. I don't say, yeah, kind of thing. My parents used to always tease me when I would go to church, and that kind of teasing where they're like, haha, I'm joking, but haha, you're weird. Like they really have this opinion that it doesn't, like that church really isn't real, right? It's not a real thing. Why is that a thing? And my parents, when I go to church, they'd be like, you're going to go talk to the dead today? And I'd be like, yep, see ya. And there was that judgment. But when my mom passed, when she was getting ready to pass, and my dad and I were standing beside her at home, this has got a little choked up here. My dad said to me, is Uncle Raymond here? I asked Uncle Raymond to come and take her fishing. And I didn't think that was going to make me cry. Sorry. And I said, yeah, Pop, he's here. They're all here. And he felt comforted. This religion brings us comfort. It brings us joy. It allows us to live in this moment and to really look at ourselves and learn from that and grow and raise our vibrations. That's a wonderful thing. But are we sharing that with other people? Are we putting that out there for them? Now, if Maggie and Katie Fox, as pre-teenagers, not even teenagers yet, can be stripped naked, made to stand on glass to prove that there is continuity of life, to prove that they are speaking to spirit, that there is communication. Why are we not sharing that info? We can't be arrested for it. We used to have the Benevolent Society for the sole purpose to get people out of jail because they were being arrested for saying these things were true, for swindling people out of their money or whatever. We can no longer be arrested. This is 2021. Isn't it time that we are proud of who we are? is we're proud to be spiritualists and that we talk about our church. I actually invited, I didn't invite, I'm sorry, let me rephrase. I told people that I was a minister at school, and one of my administrators said, oh, I'd love to come hear you speak. And I actually qualified it. I said, well, we're not a mainstream church. And she's the one that's like, I don't care. I didn't ask what your church was. I said, I wanted to come and hear you speak. And she goes, do you believe in a higher power? And I said, absolutely. She said, is there inspiration and wonderful talks going on? And I said, yes, ma'am, absolutely. And she said, then I want to come hear you speak. It had nothing to do with anything else. She wanted to come and be inspired and to hear those words. Why aren't we sharing this more? Why isn't our church growing? Why aren't we putting it out there? If two little girls can go through that, why can't we take on a little bit of judgment? So that leads me to the next piece of that, is the spin. How are you spinning your life to yourself and your friends and those around you? Now, I don't want to confuse two things here. I think Lynn said this last week about faking it till you make it, right? Like, let's fake it till you make it. And that's okay. As long as you're not lying to yourself when you're faking it till you make it. You know you haven't made it yet. And you're putting that positive attitude out there. So eventually you can be positive. You're not 100% yet, but you know that, and you're putting that out there. Are you presenting yourself to your friends, your true, authentic self? Are you presenting your true, authentic self to those at work, to those around you? Or are you giving them a mask? I know Vicki says it all the time as well, Reverend Vicki. You know, the world is your stage. I can't say it. It's a Shakespeare quote, and I'm screwing it up. But we all wear masks. We all put on those masks. And I want us all to live mask-free, not in COVID type mask, but in your personality. Do you have a personality mask that you put on for certain people, or are you just you with everyone? And if you feel the need to do that, to put on a mask for others, where does that come from? Are you in touch with infinite spirit, infinite intelligence with spirit? Are you in touch with yourself? Do you have a strong relationship with yourself and God? The stronger that relationship is, the more you love yourself, the more you share that self with others. And if you are not living your true, authentic life, that's just sad to me. I think that, and that's no judgment on my part. I just want to help you get there. I just want to help you get there. I hope these words inspire you to start living more authentically. Let's look at the things that we don't have inside of us. Let's look at the things when somebody is like, oh, you're judging me for my choices. Oh, that's a bad thing. Let's look at why that bothers us and grow from that. Move forward from that. Let's also be doing things every day that bring us joy. Every day that bring us joy. Because whatever we're doing, if we're learning a new thing, can that help us raise our vibration? Absolutely. Can me learning to knit raise my vibration? You may say no. That's not going to help you at all. That's knitting. It has nothing to do with your soul and your spirit. That has nothing to do with it. That's not. Go out and help other people. But in reality, when I learned to knit, it was frustrating. I was getting things wrong. I was ripping stuff out. People were really judging me for like sitting at school with my needles and I'm sitting there trying to do stuff. I have a friend who is 30. We're very close. And all he did was give me crap about, oh, now you really look old. Like, I didn't think you were old before, but all of a sudden now you're old to me. You're sitting there knitting. But I learned to joke about that, to take that in. It built my character. It helped me to keep an even mind at all times when I'm ripping out like 9 feet of something I just did. And it brought me joy because in the end, I made something out of nothing. And it was maybe not beautiful, but it was something that I did. And that helped me to grow. So going out and finding a new hobby, you may think it's not going to raise your vibration, but it will. It's going to help you make it, fake it until you make it. As we work on these little things, step by step by step, you are going to raise your vibration and attract to you people of like minds and like vibrations. And remember, if people are not going to support you because you say that you're a spiritualist, they are going to judge your choice, and they're going to try to make you prove that you're a medium. Oh, I don't believe in that. You should prove that to me. Those people do not belong in your life. They are not supporting you, encouraging you, and loving you. We need to be supported in what we do. So if you're afraid of sharing your beliefs with others is going to eliminate people from your life, it may, absolutely. But are those people that you want in your life? People that are not supporting you, encouraging you? I'm making my computer shake by knocking the table, sorry. But if they're not doing that, are they people you really want in your life? So with all of this, I want you to take a hard look at yourselves. I want you to feel the different times that you have been ignored or displaced or marginalized. Figure out why it felt like that, why you allowed another person to have that effect on you. And then also look at how you're spending your life. How do you spend it to others, and how are you spending it to yourself? Are you lying to yourself? Saying, oh no, I got this covered, I'm good. And just piling through. And we've all been there at different times, I'm sure. I know I have. Reverend Vicky tells me all the time, you choose free will more than anybody I know. There's this wonderful law called the path of least resistance. That is one of my absolute favorite laws. It's about allowing things to unfold the way that they need to, instead of interjecting our free will, instead of interjecting our thoughts and our desires and pushing for what we want and fighting for what we want. The path of least resistance. So let's look inside ourselves and find out why we're feeling these things and work on them. Make your life better. Find your true, authentic self, because your true, authentic self smiles and is joyful and doesn't hide things from others. Spiritualism is this amazing, wonderful gift that we have. It brings us comfort. It brings us joy. It allows us to live in a non-judgmental world, because the door to reformation is never closed to anyone here or hereafter. Our 8th principle. Never, never question that. You and I and everyone here and everyone in spirit has the capability of moving forward. And the only person who truly can make any judgment on you is you. You can look at your behavior. You can look at your actions. You can look at your thoughts and your feelings. You can acknowledge them and then address them appropriately for you, not for others. In spiritualism, I encourage you this week to share your religion with someone. And it doesn't have to be weird and awkward and just, oh, by the way, I'm a spiritualist. Thanks, love you. Well, you can, absolutely. But maybe somebody who you're close to that you don't really share this side of who you are. I encourage you to do that. Maybe next week we'll have more people who will join us. And if nothing else, you are going to feel internal joy from sharing something that is always here to support you, that's always here to show you love. God bless.
Thank you so much for giving us that thoughtful and inspiring sermon this morning. It was wonderful. and I'm sure everybody here appreciated it. Now's the time in our service for our love offering announcements. Please join me in an offertory prayer. Let us pray. Infinite intelligence, we accept and give thanks for the gifts so generously given to us today. We ask that you bless these gifts and those that gave them. Without these gifts, our church could not grow. We dedicate these gifts to the future of this church and to spiritualism. Amen. We continue to accept love donations by cash or check to the address on your screen. In addition, we have PayPal available through our website or through the link displayed on the screen, and annual membership dues may also be paid via any of these methods. Thank you so much for continuing to support the Spiritualist Desert Church, NSAC. This morning, I'd like to just take a minute to acknowledge our visiting Credential workers that are visiting with us this morning. We have the Reverend Jen Rawson and the Reverend Vicki Homan. Welcome. We're glad you're here. As you're aware, our physical building is closed for service during this pandemic. However, our church does remain active. Our board of directors and the pastoral committee are available if you need any assistance. If you'd like to talk with us, or if you have any questions, or if you're interested in membership, please reach out to us via any of the methods previously listed on the screen. Additionally, if you receive the weekly newsletter, there is contact information on the second page. And if you'd like to be added to our email list, just let us know. You can watch any of our Zoom services on our YouTube channel by searching Spiritualist Desert Church on the YouTube search bar. Next week, our speaker will be the president of our church board, Lynn Collier. We would also like to remind you that our Enfoldment Circle, led by Louise Barktel, meets on the first and third Thursday of every month at 5 p.m. Please get there a few minutes early, as entry will be closed once the service is started. Our new pre-service Lyceum, a 20-minute presentation with time for questions and answers following, will be held on the second Sunday of every month. The next class will be on June 13th, so you can mark your calendars. As we begin the healing portion of our service, we invite you to join us in a meditation led by Louise Barktel. Louise is our secretary on the board of directors at Spiritualist Desert Church, and she is also the co-chair of our pastoral committee. Please join me now in the prayer for spiritualist healing. I ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from my mind and body and to restore me to perfect health. I ask this in all sincerity and honesty, and I will do my part. I ask the great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help and to restore them to perfect health. I put my trust in the love and power of God. Amen. And now Louise will lead us in our guided meditation.
Hello, everyone. I also would like to welcome everyone today that is here in the physical, that will be here on YouTube, but also all those in spirit that come in and spend time with us, supporting us, loving us. Let's start out getting in a comfortable position, feet on the floor if possible, and just acknowledging that for the next few minutes, it is for us, it's for our own healing, so that we can restore, so that we are better when we come back and go out throughout our week. Begin by focusing on your breathing. And as you breathe in, really focus on that good, clean breath of air filling your lungs. And as you exhale, consciously think of releasing any negativity, releasing the weight of the day, releasing any of those little chores that you think you need to do later on, because those are for later, not for now. Right now is for us. Right now is for you. Your time to connect with your spirit doctors, chemists, and healers, with infinite intelligence, with that healing energy available to all of us. So again, each time you inhale, consciously think of yourself, your consciousness, rising, elevating, going toward that beautiful golden lake of healing energy, rising up to meet with your doctors, chemists, and healers, and infinite intelligence. Rising up, feeling lighter, feeling freer, feeling unfettered. As you continue to rise, you can actually feel like you're floating, no longer restrained, but floating wherever you want to go. And you want to go where you can feel that pull to that healing energy. Your connection with spirit, with infinite intelligence, is strong. And as you feel yourself getting closer, the temperature is exactly perfect just for you. But you can feel a warmth, just like a blanket out of a dryer that you can surround yourself in. That warmth, that comfort that seeps in through your skin, that seeps into your blood, that seeps into your bones, that healing mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. It fills up all the little holes. It makes you one with spirit, with that healing energy, and with yourself. You've become healthy and whole. Right now, still feeling comfortable. But then you can feel the energy surging through you, making you not just comfortable, but powerful, ready to take on anything, because you now have the energy to do it. Again, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally and spiritually. You are strong, you are healed, and you are whole. And with this renewed energy, it's time to begin our way back into our everyday consciousness, our everyday life. Again, using your breath. And every time you exhale now, you'll bring your consciousness back down to this earth plane, a little bit at a time, feeling your physicality, settling back down fully into your body, feeling renewed, feeling refreshed, ready to merge back into the world. Wiggling your toes, wiggling your fingers, opening your eyes when you're ready, coming fully back, putting a smile on your face, ready for the day. God bless.
Thank you, Louise. That was beautiful. Another one of your wonderful healing meditations. We continue to maintain our healing list and to send out absent healing prayers on a daily basis. If you wish to be added or add someone to the healing list, including your pets, please send us an email request with first names only. We now move to the message portion of our service. By definition, a medium is one whose organism is sensitive to the vibrations in the spirit world, and through whose instrumentality and intelligences in that world are able to convey messages and produce the phenomena of spiritualism. A medium proves the continuity of life. Please understand that all mediums are psychics, but not all psychics are mediums. A psychic reads your energy and your aura. A medium brings through someone who has lived here on the earth plane. It's also important to know that a medium is not a medical doctor and therefore cannot and will not diagnose or prescribe. As we come to a close, we would like to invite the Reverend Paula Molino back to deliver our benediction. Paula?
Thank you, Elka. Let's all take a deep breath in again. Infinite Intelligence, thank you so much for this wonderful service today. Please send everybody on their way with blessings of healing and strength and encouragement. May they go through the week knowing that they are loved, they are surrounded with nothing but greatness in their life. And Lord, help them, please, to remain joyful throughout the week. God bless.
Thank you for joining us today. And thank you, Paula, for that nice benediction. Please remember to include all of those who are striving to keep us safe and healthy in your prayers and meditation. Lynn will now unmute everyone so that you can talk. Have a good week, everybody. Bye-bye.